Zach B. Hancock, appreciate you being here in our chat tonight. He says, not nothing from a singularity. This is based on, we had several comments come in from early in your presentation, Eric. Not from nothing from a singularity that included literally all the matter and energy that exists today. I'd like to say a couple things first and then have you respond. And so, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, your first and second laws of thermodynamics would refute these types of comments, because the first law, matter and energy can neither be created nor destroyed. The second law is the law of increasing entropy. Everything is winding down. Okay, if you wind it back up to a point of least increasing entropy, but wait a minute, matter and energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but things are winding down. That means matter and energy can't be eternal. They had to come into existence from an outside force. But the evolutionists or the naturalists, what are they forced to argue? That matter and energy are eternal. But the first and second laws of thermodynamics prove that's impossible, Eric.
Yeah, I think Jeffrey said it in the chat. He's like, where did the singularity come from? Like,
right.
You still like, okay, where did that there? And you're right. They used about 100 years ago, they went with the whole eternal universe idea. Yes, and before that, Einstein believed in the eternal universe, and they realized this isn't true. This can't happen. I do this. I forget what talk it is, but I do one with dominoes. Have I done the one with dominoes with you? How dominoes prove the universe isn't eternal?
I don't think so.
It's imagine a row of dominoes that's infinitely long. So it's going infinite both directions. Okay. A row of dominoes that's infinite, representing our eternal universe. Pick one of the dominoes, any one you want, just pick it, point at it. Okay. That domino, when is that domino going to fall? It's going to fall right after the one before it falls. Well, when is that one going to fall? That's going to fall right after the one before it falls.
Right.
Well, when's that one going to fall? You keep doing it. You keep going backwards and you say, so look at your domino again. When is your domino going to fall? It's never going to fall because you have an infinite number of dominoes that have to fall before we ever get to yours. Therefore, we'll never get to yours because it's infinity. Now apply the same concept. This is what scientists did. They went, wait a minute, the universe can't be eternal because you can apply the same concept to time. When do we get to today? Today's Thursday, the day we're filming this. When do we get to today? Well, we get to today right after yesterday. Yesterday was Wednesday. Well, when do we get to Wednesday? Well, that's right after Tuesday. Well, when do we get to Tuesday? That's right after Monday. And you can keep going back. When do we get here? If the universe is eternal, you have an infinite number of days that have to pass before you get to today, which means you'll never accomplish the infinite number of days, which means you'll never get to today.
Wow.
So the universe cannot be eternal because otherwise we would never have now. That wouldn't exist in an eternal universe. So just an interesting thought process to get you to realize the universe cannot be eternal. So the idea that the singularity is eternal is obliterated just with logic. And yeah, exactly like Jeffrey said, where did that singularity actually come from is a big problem.
That answer, Eric, as they say, mind blown.
Mind blown.
I love it, which could be a good place to start to wrap it up. As what did we title tonight? How to blow an atheist mind. And Eric,
let me give credit though. A bit of orange. My friend Brian Malusian wrote a piece on that. That's where that concept or that illustration came from. And so he blogs over at A Bit of Orange is his blog. So you have to check him out over there.
I love it, brother. I really appreciate your energetic way of engaging our culture with the truth. And there's eternal value and eternal reward in that. And the answer to a lot of these problems that should blow an atheist mind, Eric, is what? As Jasmine says here, barely an inconvenience. The origin of life, the origin of these mutually interdependent systems, symbiotic relationships, barely an inconvenience to fish to fisherman evolution, apparently. So